secret stash for hiding all my Christmas stuff. In bins. Everything's in here in the bathroom closet and no one will ever know. Hi guys, Happy New Year. Hope you had a great holiday with your family. We had a lot of fun. It was relaxing and I'm ready to get busy in 2017. Lots going to be happening, so I'm super excited about that. On Friday, I did a class for James Jones Groups. James teaches textbooks, selling textbooks on Amazon FBA. I'm going to put his link around here somewhere if you want to check him out, if that's something you're interested in. And I did a 60-minute course on holiday and seasonal finds and how that can really ramp up your Amazon FBA business. So this is just a short video showing you how I go after seasons, after holidays, after seasonal activities, like back to school shopping, to take advantage of the clearances in the retail store and then sell it on Amazon FBA. Walmart Christmas clearance aisles, only 50% right now. I sometimes come and look at the early, this is just a couple days after Christmas, and see if there's anything that's a really good deal that I'll snag before somebody else snags it. But most of the time I wait until it's 75% off or greater, because that's when you find the really good retail arbitrage profit margins. So I try to wait, because some of these generic items like stockings and pet items will still be there. No one's fighting to get them. Okay, so we're going to be talking about the basics of shopping huge clearances up to 90% off, which I just saw yesterday at the CVS had 90% off of all of their Christmas stuff. And we are going to take that 90% that we're getting off in the retail stores for seasonal or holiday type items, and we're going to hold them just for a short period of time, normally until September, so January to September, and then we are going to sell them on Amazon for 100%. The calendar is filled with seasons: summer, spring, winter, fall. It's also filled with all kinds of crazy holidays: Valentine's Day, Easter, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween, and you can put on a literal physical calendar when these natural seasons are occurring, these natural holidays are occurring, and seasonal activities. Like in the summertime, obviously pool toys and barbecue items are going to sell a lot better. And in the winter time, any type of like ice skating, ice hockey, activities, snow sleds, coats, winter coats, things like that are going to be selling better. So you can literally fill up your calendar with ideas on seasons, seasonal activities, and holidays, so that you can be constantly on the lookout for taking advantage of this. Okay, here's a list of the holidays that we're talking about, but essentially it's kind of like the stock market. You know, it ebbs and flows and it ups and downs, and there's a natural cycle to it. Well, there are times to buy items, to hold items, and to sell items on Amazon. These did really good for me last year, so I'm going to check those out. The command ones, I always look for any commands, because this was a jackpot last year, but then this year these weren't so good. So just kind of FYI, always look at commands, but they're not all awesome. Stockings I always check out. Any name brand items. Take advantage of that because the stores only have so much space already. You know, I actually before Christmas was even here, I was starting to see little end caps of Valentine's Day items. They were already starting to discount their Christmas items in anticipation for wanting, you know, just to eliminate these items as soon as possible and sell the new items. And that way they kind of minimize their loss of their Christmas goods. So they just start to, you know, lower it, and then they just continue to lower it until most or all of the product is gone.
Some things aren't even Christmas related.
These spikes in sales that happen throughout the entire year, they're very consistent, can add significant sales to your business and make you a lot more money. Close to the holiday, these things start to reduce. This was when I went to Walmart the week after Christmas, and already things, you know, were discounted at 50%. And then a couple days later, I was starting to see that they were 75 or 80%. I don't even start to scan until the items are at 75%, because that's where I want my return on investment. That's kind of where I start to see that 3 times rule that we always talk about on this channel. I start to see that at around the 75%. And all that means, if you don't know, is that if I have an item, like say a vase, and I can buy it for $5. When I scan it on my phone, I want to see on my app that I can relist it, I can sell it on Amazon for $15. And that will give me my $5 back for purchasing the vase. It'll pay for my $5, which is roughly my 33% in Amazon fees and shipping costs. And it will put $5 into my bank account as profit. So I always want to make sure that any item I buy follows those 3 times rules for the most part, and I find that at 75%. And there it is explained.
Any kind of sports stuff I always look at.
So how I do this is I make a list of all the retail stores in my area. You know, I love to go to Walmart and Target and Kohl's, CVS, Walgreens. There's so many, but I make a list of those.
Now we're going to run into Michael's.
And then I look for the clearance items and I look for the percentages. One thing I want to tell you though is one store could be at 50% and another store can be already at 90%.
Now we're in Joann's. You can see how the clearances are different here than they were at Walmart, because we're seeing 80% off even here.
And then the third step is that you start scanning. You know, I like Profit Bandit a lot, or Scan Power or Inventory Lab, whatever you're using, even if you're using the free Amazon app, which this screenshot is from. This is the type of thing that you're going to find. Anything that's name brand, I always pay attention to. These are Hallmark. They are collectible. A lot of people collect Hallmark ornaments. So not only was it name brand, but it's a collectible, which I always pay attention to too. So I stopped to scan these items. Now, this item I think was like 75 cents to purchase at my Walmart. And as you can see here, this is the screenshot that I got from the Amazon app. And anytime I see this, I'm the only FBA seller. I love that because I don't have any other FBA competition. So if someone is sorting just by Prime, then they're going to find my offering and no one else's offering. And many, many people really do shop that way.
And this was the biggest jackpot. Hallmark always goes well. And there's so many of them.
These are just more examples of some of the things I find. Gel cleans. I don't know why I always find gel cleans. Every year I find gel cleans and they do really well for me. People decorate with them and they buy new every year. And so I always glance at those because I buy things for cents on the dollar. So generally, bestseller rank, you know about this, we've covered it. So you can just kind of look over this. But in general, you know, I like it to be really any category to be under 100,000. And that way I know that they're going to sell quickly, which is what we all want. If it's under 50,000, it's pretty much a sure thing. I feel really confident in my purchase. These are like a general list. You purchase the items, you put them into the plastic containers, as you see I do, label them with your contents, and then I'm going to pull these out at the very beginning of September or the end of August. I'm going to start listing them because all that takes time to list and package and ship and for them to scan it in and for the listing to be live, and people start shopping really early for Christmas and for decorating. So I want to be all positioned with my Christmas goods ready to take advantage of those early shoppers.
Kohl's is one of my favorite places to look for Christmas stuff and see. Of course, every year is different for every store you go to. Like tonight, I'm having no luck in Joann's and Michael's, and I had good luck last year, so we'll see what we find here. I think I lost the pillow. Uh-oh. Some more Hallmark.
Yeah, I got a couple of those.
Things to be mindful of: food, you have to be approved to sell in that category. Expiration dates. If you watch the video that's linked down below in the description, you'll see where there was a lot of chocolate and I thought about it, but I live in Florida, so I can't even get chocolate at home without it melting. So that's definitely something, you know, I don't want to mess with. Name brands, you have to look, like as you can see here, this is a screenshot of what it looks like when something is restricted. Glass, shipping, breaking. I don't mess with glass unless I have a really good return on it. Electronics or anything with a lot of moving parts, kind of the same thing, a lot of returns because there's just too many things and they break. Large or delicate types of items, they're larger, they're delicate. You might get into extra storage fees, they might get bent, so you have damage and returns. Toys, if you want to sell in fourth quarter with toys, you have to have approval for that too, so I just want you to be mindful of that.
So name brand is always what you want to go for because it's a higher dollar amount, but sometimes they're restricted. And so you have to go with like a Walmart brand, but it's still on Amazon and it still sells for a profit.
So there are lots of items that I do like when I'm shopping, and I already told you I like any name brand. Sports stuff goes really well. If it's not restricted and you can find like Miami Dolphins, you know, people are loyal to their sports teams. Pets, people buy things for their pets, make stockings for their pets, and you will see all kinds of pet stuff in your clearance items right now. Regular stocking stuffers, so stockings themselves. Other generic things that everybody will use every year would be bags and tags and ribbons and that kind of stuff. Command clips, I found command clips again this year. If you see command clips, please stop and scan them because I've made out really well year after year on command clips because they sell year round. They're not a holiday thing.
I'm always looking for name brands.
Okay, so there are a lot of items out there. So I have a few tips just for you to be thinking about as you're shopping. Anything that you can cross promote, which I've talked about in previous videos. I've gone to Goodwill, and Goodwill likes to showcase their items by color. So they'll have a red section and a green section and a blue section, and you can take advantage of that. The red and green you can put together for Christmas, and pink and red you could put together for Valentine's Day. Green is St. Patrick's Day, and even items that you wouldn't think are related, like a plastic cup set that's green, you can promote, you can market as St. Patrick's Day, even though it's just a plastic cup set. Save capital, don't spend all your cash on Christmas. You want to be thinking forward and realizing that you want to take advantage of this opportunity. If you don't have the money, you can't take advantage of it. Typically, my kind of way that I do it, I guess, is to go to the store right after the sale, see if there's anything that's I really want to snag before someone else does. Even if it's not a 75% off sale, if there's something really good that is on clearance for 50%, I'll just kind of do a quick walkthrough and see. And then I just go periodically to keep an eye on the sales. I don't even call a store if I don't want to go in there and say, what discount is your Christmas goods at right now? And then they'll tell you. And then I try to remember personal use. Sometimes when I'm in Kokomo, because I live in Florida and I have summer stuff here all year round that I need, I can go to Kokomo when they're discounting all of their summer stuff, and I can get my new cushions for my patio set for 90% off. I can get a new barbecue grill set for 75% off, and I don't have to pay full value for my own stuff when I take advantage of this. And once you get doing it for a while, you just see the opportunity in everything, right? You just see it everywhere. So now is the time to go out and do this. I'm going to post this video in hopes that you will go out there today, this week, and try to find some seasonal deals. I really want you to try to add this to your Amazon business model in 2017. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. There's very little risk with it because you're buying things for cents on the dollar, 90% off. It's really not very expensive to give it a go, so I hope that you will try it. Also, I'm going to put on the Amazon 360 Facebook group and start a chain on this topic. So if anybody has any questions or tips that they want to add, that would be great. Love to hear from you down below. If you just take a minute and write a comment, tell me if you've done this, what has been your experience with it, so that everybody can learn, from everybody here, not just me in this video. All right, guys, that's it. Good luck.